Reality. Reality receipts.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Reality Receipts podcast, starring me, Storytime with Ricky.
And me, Reality Ashley, and we're back to talk about Love is Blind France. We got to the wedding episodes, which were really good. So just episodes 8 and 9, and then we're going to talk about our Love Island games.
Yes.
Episode 8 is what we're at, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so I'm so excited. I've been waiting for these wedding episodes for a week. Obviously, it started off with Tatiana and Yannik. Oh, do you want to talk about anything? You got like some info on Yannik,
So I
right?
did get some info on Yannik. So apparently, Love is Blind France did him really shady and portrayed him like this gold digger. I know that is the interpretation that me and you got, Ashley, right? Because we were like,
Yeah.
he's broke, like he's giving like he's after her money. Doesn't really have much going for himself, like 50-50 man. It turns out that Yannick is paid, you guys, like super paid, has like 9 businesses, very, very wealthy. And Tatiana does know this. So again, we see a little bit in this episode that they did like more info on the prenup, right? Like she was late to the appointment, but he wanted to make sure it protected both of them because apparently he owns a restaurant. He owns a bunch of production studios in the Paris area. Very, very wealthy guy. So I'm not really sure why it was portrayed that like he didn't have any money, that he was a gold digger, that he was super impressed by Tatiana's businesses because apparently he's got a bag too, and he was supposed to like take her on a date to his restaurant, but that scene got cut, and everything that showed like his successes were basically cut out of the show, which I don't know.
Yeah.
They portrayed it. They definitely portrayed it like he was a brokey, and I guess
Mhm.
his sentiment, just getting some clarity, what he said, he wants a person that wants to be with him for him, not because of what he has or what he's able to provide, because I'm guessing or a little birdie told me that he has had that problem happen in the
Yeah.
past. Women kind of just used him for what he had. And I also got some insight on their living situation, as far as why he didn't want to move is because Tatiana's renting and he actually owns where he lives. And France has like strict laws apparently of like renters rights and stuff. And basically, if he put a
Mhm.
tenant in there, it would like in his home that he owns, it would be a lot harder to get them out than, just, you know, based on
Yeah.
their renting laws. But yeah, apparently Yannick's got a bag, you guys. So
Well, I think that makes sense as to why he was impressed with Tatiana's businesses then, because he's probably used to women maybe wanting to use him for money or not having their own, right? And so that's
yeah.
why he was impressed by it, because he's like, oh, you have something going on too. I'm not used to that, right? But they portrayed it as, oh, you got money. I need to not sign a prenup and lock this down. So,
Yeah, yeah. So apparently it was never about like not signing it. It was about her being 2 hours late and him being frustrated by the time that she did get there. That it was like, I'm not just gonna rush and sign it because now you're late. And
mhm.
now the time that we would have had to review it and go over it, you were 2 hours late. So we
Yeah.
weren't able to do that. So now I need to review it and go over it and make sure it's gonna protect me. It's actually like more of a protection for him because apparently he's got a lot more money than Tatiana does. So
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. It was a little confusing when they explained it in this episode of like, so they did end up seeing the notary, but they didn't sign because they didn't have time. So
yeah,
that's why. Oh, okay.
yeah,
'Cause I
I
know
think
he said she was late, and then she said he was rude on the phone, and she hung up on him. So I didn't know if she actually ended up still going. So she did.
yeah. I mean, I think right. That's what we saw was her, or it was confusing. And again, it's the language barrier for us. But it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, she did end up going. I know that's
Uh-huh.
the story that I got, that she did end up going, but she ended up going really, really late. So I'm not sure if
Right.
that's still the same scene that we all saw when the notary was at their apartment. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? Or if that was a different scene. But basically
Yeah.
that gives a lot more context to, why. they didn't have
Mhm.
time to review it properly. So that makes sense why Yannick didn't want to sign it because he's also protecting himself. But yeah, they portrayed
Yeah.
it he was broke and like was just trying to cash in on her coin, which is unfortunate, you know?
Yeah, we definitely as soon as he said 50-50, that is what it gives, right? That's what we took from it because they didn't show him being successful. So all we had to go on was he doesn't look to have much going on for himself. He's impressed by her, and now he's like very horrified at the thought that he might have to take over and pay for everything if something happens with her business, which I think he could have not been so horrified in that situation because it's not like she was saying, I want to stop working because you have money or you can take over. She was sort of just saying, in case something happens, like, and he could have just been like, yeah, I got you. And then, but maybe he was nervous that he said, if I got you, she might, she never gave the impression that she's not looking to work though, but
Yeah,
he was,
yeah, and I think and again, maybe it's the language barrier for us because
mhm,
to me, she was just saying, "I'm gonna work, I'm gonna continue to work, but I do expect you to take care of all of the household expenses, and, like,
mhm,
I input the household other ways, but, like, I do expect you to be the main breadwinner and take care of majority of the bill." That's what I got from their conversation, and then,
mhm,
like, I kind of, help out. They're like, "I'm not gonna just not work, but in the event that something does happen with my businesses, yeah, like, you need to be able to run the ship, you know?"
yeah,
But I think that goes both ways, right? If she has her own money, like, yeah,
mhm,
you're the primary breadwinner, but if something happens with your business, I'll be able to take care of the ship too,
yeah,
But maybe she didn't say that last part, so maybe that wasn't clear. But from my understanding, Yannick is very wealthy, very successful on his own, and is looking for somebody that doesn't wanna be with him because of what he has or expect them to provide. And again, not all men have that provider mind state, even ones with money. So,
true. Yeah, men can have money and still be very cheap, right? So
yeah,
it
very
happens.
frugal or very like, still wanna to be 50-50, because they
Yeah.
think that it's fair, but they definitely portrayed it like he wanted to be 50-50 because he broke, and that's
Yeah.
just
Yeah, we needed the other context that he's fine and has money and a job, but they left that part out.
Yeah,
So
I
that was
think it would have
important.
been nice of them to also show, like, the scenes of him showing Tatiana his businesses and
Yeah,
his restaurant and because he has, like, a production he has, like, a few podcast studios, he has a restaurant, he has a whole production he's worked with, like, Christian Louboutin and, like, really top big designers in
well, that's cool.
France, like, yeah,
Mm.
he's doing his thing, so
Yeah,
good
they
for you,
left out
Yannick. Sorry we called you broke.
yeah. We can only go off of the edit, Yannick, so we're sorry that they didn't show you properly because that was all very important. But
Yeah.
what did you think of their fight here? Like, she seemed I don't know. Do you think she was a little unreasonable? He
Yes,
told her that
absolutely.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, he seemed to be wanting to work on it. It almost made me feel like we must have not seen something because everything we've seen on camera, he's been pretty chill and good and put up with a lot, like with her mom, like we haven't seen him act a certain way, but the way she acted in the scene was though he had been very awful to her. So I feel like either we didn't see something or she just wanted to get out of it and she
Well,
wasn't gonna listen.
she said that she's relieved, and I noticed that she keeps bringing up his age, like 35-year-old Yannick, 35-year-old Yannick, so that to me
Mhm,
already tells me that there's no respect factor for that for him there, that she
mhm,
already thinks that he's beneath her because of his age, like, I think she thinks that he's immature, but to me, in that discussion, she was very immature, she was speaking over him, she wasn't letting him talk, she wasn't letting him get to his point, but if we
mhm.
remember back to the pods she behaved very very similarly. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, she definitely I think she's mentioned it a few times, but she or maybe it's not her, maybe that was Julie. Did she say she has, like, abandonment issues too? Because that's sort of what it gives. She as soon as there's a problem, she kinda just wants to say, like, "It's over, it's done," so that she can say it before they say it, right? Because that's what we saw with her and Yannick in the pods. He was not even saying that he wasn't interested, and she kinda just panicked and was like, "Okay, I can't do this and walk away.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think we've heard her say it, but I think definitely she has some abandonment issues. I think that's clear. And then I think the fear of like getting left or like a marriage not working out because she is divorced already. But I didn't think she handled that discussion well at all. I don't think that Yannick was being disrespectful to her in any way. He was actually trying to point something out. And he was
mhm,
like, because he's pointing something out that she's doing wrong, she like got in a tizzy about it. Like she's like, no, I don't want to hear it. And she walked out, didn't even let him finish her sentence, slammed the door on him, you know?
mhm,
And obviously he has an issue with feeling disrespected by being dismissed, right? When you hang up in
mhm.
somebody's face, you're dismissing what they're saying. When you walk out when they're mid convo, you're dismissing what they're saying.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah,
and
she doesn't hear people out or like give them a chance to. And I feel like they easily could have resolved things. Like she didn't try on the dresses and he still seemed like he wanted to move forward. So I'm interested for the reunion for this couple because I feel like we're missing something or I don't know. I feel like there will be more to say because it's not really adding up how quickly she gave up on it. So,
yeah, and I want to say that the little birdie also told me that he did meet her son.
oh, okay.
Yeah, let me check. Let me not say anything out
The
of my
little birdie. We
let me
got
ch uh, let me check my little
mhm,
birdie to make sure she said, let's see. I'm pretty sure she said I'm pretty sure that it was that it was that he did meet the son, but it wasn't
mhm.
on camera, which again is another, like, important.
Maybe they
uh
just decided not to show it because they didn't
Oh,
go
he
to the
also
altar?
did meet his yes, she also did meet his son, and it went really well, but they didn't show that, yeah. So she did meet his son.
Okay. Oh,
He d she d he did meet her son.
that's
I said she
interesting.
did meet his son. I meant yeah,
He met her son.
he met her son, yes.
That's interesting then because she did seem like she wanted it to just be done, right? And she wasn't going to hear him out. And I wonder if it has something to do with her son. I wonder if he met him and even if it went well in Yannick's eyes after he was like, no, that's not, I don't want him to be my stepdad. And because she seemed like very non negotiable in that last combo with Yannick, she
Yeah, and
didn't
I
want to hear him out. Her mind was made up. So,
for sure, and I think probably, his mom her mom, know's opinion of Yannick, made a difference, yeah,
yeah, I
so
agree.
so,
Just
um
creep I was just creeping his Instagram, but I can't read any of it, so I'm gonna just not bother.
understand it, so moving
It's
on.
French. I know we had a few listeners offer to give us the tea. So if you're listening and you speak French and you want to go to Yannick's Instagram or any of these people and tell us if they posted anything shady about each other, let us know because we can't read it. So
Right,
there is probably a translation button. I'll look into it, but
yeah,
'cause I think they're doing that now. But then we see Julie and Charles having a lot of baby talk. So that was cute. I mean,
very
I
cute.
I am surprised how their journey went this whole 2 episodes, but they were
Same,
cute in this scene. So
yeah.
can't okay, this was a bit of a spoiler for me because as soon as Kim and is his name Jonathan? Was that her partner?
Kim's
Yeah. Who's Kim?
Thomas.
Thomas. Thomas, okay. I only wrote down Kim. As soon as Kim said she wasn't going to meet Thomas's daughter before the altar, I knew they were not getting married. There's no way somebody would marry someone without meeting their child. Like that's insanity. So as soon
Was it
as
Thomas that said it though? It was him that was like, "She's not meeting my daughter until it's a yes," right?
it seemed like something they had agreed on together
Yeah,
is what I gathered.
okay.
And I not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but I definitely feel like now remember before when he was like, "You can get your beautiful dress moment." That's all that was happening here. As soon
Absolutely,
as yeah,
absolutely.
as soon as they said she's not meeting the daughter, I knew they weren't gonna get married. I'm like, "Why are they going to the altar?" They just both, I think, wanted this moment because 'cause they're not there for genuine reasons, and yeah, I'm like, nobody would marry someone without introducing your child or have your child at the wedding. Like, that's just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I don't know. we'll talk about them when we get
Okay.
to them. 'Cause I'm like, I have so many thoughts about that. I'm like, what the fuck
Yeah,
was this? Like, I'm so confused.
we'll get there. But so Chloe's partner, what's his name?
Alexandre.
I know the
We'll
girls.
just call him Alex.
Okay. He seems very conflicted, like very not sure. So all of a sudden he's moving to the mountains. Like that came like why are you on the show to get married then if you knew you
Yeah.
wanted to move to the mountains? But
Same. I have it written down. Going too fast. He was passing through Paris. I'm sorry, who's passing through and goes on a dating show to get married? Like, he kind of definitely gives like that nomad energy. What is his
mm,
job?
Ricky, my favorite season is here. There is a chill in the air, crispy leaves on the ground, and it's got me thinking about my favorite fall recipes that I like to make. Do you have any favorites?
Girl, I have been using HelloFresh to make soups. I love soups in the fall. I love like hearty meals, and I made their beef stew the other day. It fed me for like a week. It was supposed to only be for 2 people, but I really could feed like 8. Like, so meals are just like much bigger and like it's just they have the best new fall recipe. Have you been using HelloFresh?
I have been using HelloFresh. I love it. And you probably noticed that they have doubled their menu lately. So you can now choose from 100 options each week, which is amazing.
Oh my god, I love the healthier meal options because 'cause I'm trying to get fit, and they say summer bodies are made in the winter, so I love that they have a lot of healthier meal options packed with proteins, packed with veggies, and I already told you about the steak and seafood. You get so many more steak and seafood options at no extra cost, so
The best way to cook just got better. Go to HelloFresh.com/RR10FM now to get 10 free meals plus a free item for life. One per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/RR10FM to get 10 free meals plus a free item for life. No idea.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. So he definitely gives this nomad, like, live off the land, rock
hmm
climbing. Apparently, he's very passionate about rock climbing. What job, requires rock climbing? And that's not me being funny. I
Now we're going to find out he has a secret trust fund and he's worth
he
millions of
he might
dollars.
be a Benaiah, and if he does, then good for him, right? Because
Mm,
Benaiah was a nomad, a
yeah.
very rich one. Um, doesn't wanna give up on his dreams of mountain and rock climbing, right? Is what I gathered? Am I
Yeah,
gathering
and it's
correctly?
like it's sort of like he almost feels shocked that he's here. Like he's engaged, he's about to get married. They're like you came here, you showed up to all the filming. You you proposed to someone, and he's like very confused how this is
Yeah,
happening to him. So,
yeah, like, honestly, he's like he was getting on my nerves, like, the whole episode because exactly, I'm like, "What do you mean it's going too fast? What do you mean you're not
yeah,
sure if you wanna wipe?" Now, I get from the aspect of, like, you've given up on your dreams before and you don't wanna make the same mistake because you helped somebody else excel in their career. What I didn't like
hmm
about Chloe, and it's like she's so sweet to be, like, so patient, but to me,
hmm
it's, like, giving desperate because it's like to me, it was like whatever he wants, right? Like, "Oh, if you
yeah,
wanna move to the mountains, I can get a job anywhere. Oh, you wanna rock climb? I know how to
yeah.
rock climb. Look." I thought it was very sweet of her to take him on a date that, like, resonates with stuff that he likes, but I feel like she's gonna make the mistake that he made in his first relationship. She's gonna give up on all of her dreams and ambitions to follow this man, a like, what are we, the Flintstones, bitch? Like, why are you worried about rock climbing and mountains? Like, so I fear she's gonna give up on her dreams to accommodate his dreams, but it just seemed like it was like, "I'm flexible, like, whatever you wanna do, like, yeah, yeah, yeah," like, and I hate that for her because she does seem very sweet and genuine.
I was just trying to look up his job, but I'm not seeing him on here.
Mm.
But yeah, it has to be something to do with rock climbing, right? Or do you think he just does it for fun?
I don't know. I don't know what kind of job requires rock climbing, but I'm not
He's
uh
an IT manager. So I guess you could do that anywhere. I don't know. That sound like a real job?
Yeah, an IT manager is a real job, and I think that they make pretty decent money, but it sounds like that's not his. I don't think we've seen him going to work on the
No.
show.
It's
But
probably like a remote kind of a
it's
thing
not
that he
his
does.
passion.
Mhm.
Obviously, his passion's to do with nature and rock climbing. I don't know how one would turn that into a career, but I I just don't like Chloe just seems like she just wants to get married so bad that she's like, "Yeah, whatever. Yeah, no, whatever you
I
wanna
just
you don't wanna love me yet, that's fine, we can still get married. If you don't oh, if you wanna move into the mountains, that's fine, I can get a job anywhere. Oh, if you need time and space, that's fine, take it." Like, and it's just kind of like,
I know I
God
kept
damn, at one point you need to be like, "Look, bitch, okay, if you don't like me, bitch, there's about 100 motherfuckers out there that do. Goodbye."
yeah. I know, I kept being like, "Do you even like him?" She's so focused on getting him to like her, right? And it's like if she actually sat back and thought, like, clearly she doesn't like rock climbing. Clearly she probably doesn't wanna live in the mountains, so why are you compromising your whole life for this guy? You
Yeah.
like she said, they have a deep emotional connection from the pods, but you kind of that can only go so far. So I just looked at his Instagram and it's all rock climbing, so the whole thing.
And it's like, if you couldn't even climb up a fake wall, Chloe, what
Mhm,
makes you think that you're afraid of heights? It's okay. Your hobbies don't have to be his hobbies. That could be his thing that he does on his own. You
mhm.
couldn't even you gonna move into the mountains and climb up a mountain?
Yeah. If you're not into it, you're not into it. You can only
Yeah.
fake that for so long. You can't spend the next 30 years of your life mountain climbing when you hate it, right? So,
Right, which is so sweet of her to even try. But again, it's like sometimes lifestyles are just not compatible and that's okay.
mhm. Um, then we see Sabrina and Van Me with her family, which was cute. I
Which
thought,
is cute.
yeah, she
I
was
thought I thought she did a lot better in these 2 episodes, like, when he said he was going out and spending the night out, I would have
yes.
didn't. I thought she was gonna I thought he was gonna come back and the apartment was gonna be burned down, like, but she did really well, like, she was like, even
How
though
did he not invite her? Like, that's so mean.
it might have been a
Like a
boys' thing,
boys'
that's
night.
what I gathered. I gathered that
Mm,
it was a boys' thing, and also maybe he didn't invite her because he knew he was spending the night at his mom's after, but again, I could go back home to
suspicious.
bitch say, right? Like, and like,
And then I bet his phone died too, and he couldn't. I'm
but,
on to these men.
like, not he left, like, you're taking your suitcase with you to the club or
Yeah.
'cause
So, yeah, when that happened, I was like, I don't see it for them. And then the rest of the episode, I'm like, he's saying, I love you. I just didn't feel like he was really that into her. And I was like, what is he doing? Like, why is he giving her this hope? And,
Well, it seemed like they ended it in a space of wanting to continue dating, so I'm
mhm,
curious to see where they're at by the reunion, if
yeah.
he was just saying that on camera or if they did try to date or, um
Would you date someone that wouldn't get married right then? Like, do you think you can recover from that?
I do. I do. I think that because we seen it, not Raven and SK are not the best example because he was a cheating ass bitch, but
Yeah.
like, they dated and ended up dating for a year and he proposed again. So it's like he
hmm
just didn't want to get married in that moment. I mean, I don't think he wanted, I don't know what the hell he was doing, but
Yeah.
because SK is a different type of person,
I
but
was,
he did eventually propose and, like, wanted to get married again. So I think we see it sometimes with the couples that
hmm
get married that they do date after. So I
yeah.
think it's possible. Um, but I'm curious to see sometimes, they just say what they gotta say on camera, and then when
hmm
the cameras go down, there's a switch up, right? Isn't that's kind of what happened with Barda and Jed, right? They tried to date after the
Yeah.
something happened?
Yeah, it's very confusing because I felt like up to these episodes, like Sabrina and Vammy and a few other couples where I was like, there's no chance. Like Kim and Thomas too. And then all of a sudden in these episodes they're like, "Oh, I love you. Let's go to the altar." And I'm like, "Where did this come from?" Like they were not doing well and now all of a sudden they're pretending like everything's great just to go to the altar.
Then
So,
he didn't even wait for them to ask the
no.
question. He just said it in his vows, like, so that they didn't even have to ask any he just like, "It's a no for now." Like, let him ask, shit, like, let him
Yeah.
ask me first so I can say no.
Yeah, and Sabrina, like you said, she was being so good in these episodes that not really her it didn't feel like her authentic self. She probably really if there's no cameras there, I think she would have been mad about this night out and so
Mhm.
I don't know. I would think by this point, but maybe not in France, but they if you get said no to at the altar, that's the best position you can be in, because like everyone's gonna feel bad for you, everyone's gonna love you, you'll be a
I don't
star.
know, but it's also like maybe and maybe not because I do think that nobody expected Van Mee to say yes because
No.
Sabrina was literally acting like a crazy person. Like, so it's like I don't think she's gonna get any sympathy,
No.
because it's like, yeah, you deserve to know, like the way you were treating that he's just so passive and quiet, and she's like
Mhm.
real crazy. So, but I thought she did really good in these 2 episodes. Like, she was trying her hardest. Like, "Oh, even though I'm possessive, like,
Mhm.
I want him to know that I'm not gonna stop him from living his life." But even I wouldn't be okay with my fiancé spending the night out after
No.
bring
No,
your
it
ass
seems
home.
unnecessary. Yeah, I'd be like, "Come
Why would you
home,"
be
and
at his
then
house the next morning?
yeah, it's a little suspicious. So
Yeah.
I hope maybe we'll hear more about that at the reunion. But Charles was getting a little picky in this episode, a little picky at Julie, thinking she's a messy Bessie. So what did you think about their little tiffs?
I thought that the things he was complaining about was minimal, right? Like, he was
Hmm.
kind of like bringing up every time he did the dishes or the laundry. And
Hmm.
she's kind of saying, like, I do it all the time. Like, to her point, like, if you can point out the times you've done it, doesn't mean,
Hmm.
means you're not doing it enough. So I think
Yeah.
when they had that little discussion at the restaurant, I did think like she was just getting a little frustrated because I didn't think there was anything wrong with how he was talking to her,
Hmm.
but I agreed with her. Like, the things that you're complaining about are so minimal and so minor that they shouldn't kind of weigh in on if we get married or not,
Yeah.
versus him saying like us living together, learning if we can live together isn't minimal to him. So again, I think
Hmm.
men and women just speak different languages. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, but I didn't think there was anything wrong with how he was speaking to her. I didn't think he was being rude. I thought he was being very patient in his words. What does he
Hmm.
do for work? Because she was like, you talking to me like a patient.
Oh, I thought she said client.
Client, right. So what does
Oh,
he
okay.
I was thinking like, what does he do for work?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Let me pull up my list again. But
like client.
yeah, the way he was talking was kind of giving like, I, as a man, shouldn't really be doing the dishes, but like I
Yeah.
will. Like he
But
wanted a
he didn't
lot of
want to say
praise
it
for
like
that,
that. Yeah.
right?
He didn't want to
Yeah, and
say
it's
it like
like if she's working and you're working, then it's 50-50, right? Like that's
Yeah, but
crazy.
it kind of was giving, right? To me, it was giving, you're
Now
not
this,
working right now.
yeah,
Like,
okay. Now this sounds like a fake job, but it's not.
oh,
He's a digital entrepreneur.
oh, okay,
So he has an app. So I don't
okay.
know what she meant by client, but maybe he's the
Yeah,
CEO of Wooster app. They have 200 creators on the app, so
okay.
I can't read any of it, so I can't tell you what the app does.
Yeah, because I think
Oh,
he
there's
was
a translation button
oh, okay.
for the creator who doesn't want to miss. Create, connect, test, and optimize your websites without limits. The web design platform that breaks the code. I don't know. That seems like a lot of gibberish to me, but
Yeah. So we haven't seen him go to work in every episode. Like, we've been seeing it. He is working a job.
yeah,
We see him going every day. But I do feel like he was getting on Julie a little bit. But I don't know. I could tell even in their fights, like just how they made up and hug. And I'm like, yeah, they're getting married for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell they had some good love for each other underneath. But so they start the next episode with Khloe and why can't I never remember this guy?
Alex.
I call him Anthony, Jonathan, Timothy, Thomas. they're not even they're not even hard names. They're literally
They're
English
like the
names.
most
But
common. Jonathan, Thomas, Alex.
I literally wrote, "Why did he go to the altar?" Like that's how sure I was that he was saying no. He was so like talking about how much he didn't want to do it, and then he gets up there and says yes. Were you shocked?
I was shocked. And the one thing I noticed is when they were at the altar, they are not facing each other. And so
Yeah.
she's like, not like, you can tell she's so scared to look at him when they ask him like his turn. She was like, like, how nerve wracking is that? Like, I don't know if I'm getting married or not. I don't know if he's going to say yes. And then it's like the relief that she
Hmm.
felt or that you could visibly see, like, And then she's like, yes, we're married. Like, but I guess
Uh,
he had an epiphany up there. And in his vows, he didn't say, I love you. So I was like, oh, it's a no. He didn't even say it in
mhm.
his vows. Like he's about to say
No.
no. So I was very shocked that he said yes. But he said he had an epiphany and he realized that he loved her.
Yeah, that's tricky. I'm kind of just wondering if he felt too much pressure to say no with all their families there, and or he was just trying to fake us out because, yeah, he seemed very unsure. And then all of a sudden at the altar, although I feel like we've heard this before, maybe in some seasons, I forget who, but they say they're so unsure till they see the person, and then they're like, I had to say yes. But I don't know if that has like long term staying power, if you're that
Oh,
unsure.
might be broken up by the reunion. Who knows? We see that happen nowadays. So
Yeah, on UK big time, so maybe that's gonna happen here, so, uh, then we get to Kim and Thomas's her her little walk away from the altar was so funny, I was
oh my
dying.
God. First of all, it was the no for me. Like the way she was like, no.
Like, how could you sit there and get all ready with your makeup and your dress on and your family and then walk up there and just be like, "Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Not
You
today."
know what? I knew they weren't getting married is when they walked up and she was like, you look good. And he was like, oh, thanks. You too. It
Yeah,
wasn't
there
like,
was
yeah. I'm like, she was like, you look good. And he's like, thanks. You too. Like, but
mhm,
it's like you could tell, like, she definitely wanted a moment. Like that no was so dramatic. It was like, no. And she
mhm,
like stayed silent for a little bit, like looked around, waited for everyone's reaction. He's like, oh, okay, it's okay. Like, it was
and
just so weird. Like,
yeah, like, it was like nobody there thought they were getting married. It was,
mhm.
like, just a formality, get it
Yeah.
over with, and then walk away. Because usually when someone says no, they feel so bad because they thought the other person was gonna say yes, they're crying, their family comes and hugs them, and they, like, slowly walk away, but she was just, like,
She like
teetered
walks
down.
off all like,
That's what she was doing it for, right? Her
yeah.
moment, her walk. Like, at least give us something, like, run down dramatically, throw the flowers, like, I don't know. It was
See,
a
and I
weird
think
walk.
Van Me and Sabrina's wasn't that bad because at least they walked off together. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It was like, it's a no right now, but I'd still like to explore this. And then they walked off together. But she just like, and then it's so awkward. He's just standing there in pure silence. And then it's almost like they both knew it was a no and they both knew
I
it
think
was
so.
over. Like they didn't even like, you see when his, like, friend came out after, he was like, "Oh, like, I hope she's happy, like, I hope it works out for her." It's almost like they both knew it was gonna be a no, and they both
Totally.
it's almost like the relationship was over before
Mhm.
the altar, you
Yeah.
know? That's what it seemed like.
I definitely agree. I think when it came down to meeting his kid, they had the talk, this is not really gonna be a thing. And he's like, "Well, I'm not gonna introduce you to her if we know we're not gonna do this." And so, yeah, as soon as they said no meeting the kid, I'm like, nobody would do that. Like, how are you gonna marry someone and then they don't, like, despise your child or vice versa? Like, they've never even met. So
Yeah,
that's just crazy. But,
yeah.
yeah, apparently she just really wanted this wedding dress moment. I don't know why, but
I
he
don't
looked
get
great,
it.
but
I she did look amazing, but I don't get it. Like that would be so I guess maybe if you're chalking up this experience to something like not real and just this TV
mhm,
show that I did one time, it would be the
yeah.
same as putting on a wedding dress for a movie role. There's no
Mhm.
sentiment or emotion or value behind it because I personally wouldn't want my mom there. Like if I knew I was saying no, I'm not having my mom there, I'm not having my sisters there. I'm not like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not even gonna involve any of them, kinda like Rickman did on her season, like, none of her family was there.
Yeah.
So, like, I think you knew it was a no because I always think it's so like, I feel like even Sabrina said to like, her parents, "Thank you so much for being here. This means so much to me." And I'm like,
Mhm.
if it was a yes, there is no thanks for being here at your wedding. Like, of course your parents
Yeah.
would be at your wedding. If it's like,
Yeah.
no, he's gonna say no, but thank you for being here because I know this is a
Mhm.
lot,
Yeah.
that's different. And I kind of thought Alex's grandmother being there and flying in for this was also, like, why he said yes. Like I said, you know what I mean? Like, why would you waste your grandmother's time like that just to say no? So I
Mhm.
think like all of those elements were factors for sure.
If you go to Kim's Instagram, it's just all her beautiful dresses, and she's, like, obviously does that type of content, aesthetics, so I just kind of feel like she looked at this opportunity as another beautiful aesthetic to like, what other chance would you have to be on a TV show globally viewed with, like, a beautiful dress on in this moment, right? So, yeah,
Mhm.
no emotions, like you said, versus
Yeah.
I don't know, Sabrina and Vammy didn't seem to have a whole lot of emotion either, or did you think she seemed genuinely surprised?
No, I think she knew. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Like, even her saying thank you for being here to her parents, like she
Yeah.
knew. And to me, I don't know. And this is not like to me, like half up, half down hairdo with no veil, and like the girls, it's not. I thought her dress was slamming. Hers was probably one of my favorite dresses. I could wear like I don't have no titties, so I could just it's not gonna look sexy. They're not gonna be sitting up touching my chin. But it didn't give wedding, right? Like, where's your veil?
Yeah.
Like, why is I'll wear my hair like that when I'm going to the club. Like, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, she looked beautiful. She looked stunning. It didn't look like this is my wedding look to me.
Mhm.
The necklace, the choker, it all it gave, I know this isn't it for me. Like, I
Mhm.
don't know, that's just me.
Yeah.
But she didn't seem surprised at all. She took the no very well. She seemed to be interested in still dating. So again, like,
Mhm.
see, you know?
And I do kind of wonder because her mom has Alzheimer's, right?
Oh, that was very
Yeah.
sweet watching her interact with her mom.
Yeah. I know, they were so sweet with their parents, which is also, like, how could you put your parents through this if you knew you weren't getting married? But I do wonder if that was part of it for her where you might not get this opportunity to do the wedding dress and have your mom see you like that, so maybe that convinced her to do it,
And
like
also very confusing for her mom, who might not
mhm,
understand that she didn't get married and she doesn't have a husband because all she
mhm.
remembers is that moment.
Yeah. I
No.
wonder what she has told her mom behind the scenes. Cause yeah, I would think that would be heartbreaking to put your mom through, like, "I was gonna marry this guy, and he said no at the altar." Like, that's, devastating for your mom to think that that happened to you, you know? So,
Yeah.
I wonder if she told her mom, like, "It's for a TV show or not it's not real, but it'll be fun," you know? So,
Yeah.
because I would think that's a lot to put your family through, like, "I'm gonna
Yeah,
marry
that's
this
what I said.
guy,"
If
and
I
he
knew
says
I
no.
was not saying yes, or I wouldn't even invite my family.
No.
It'd be
I
like, "This
agree.
is something I did on a Saturday that you don't know
Yeah.
about." Like, you know what I
You'll
mean? Like,
find out in a year on
you'll
Netflix,
find
but
out on Netflix, like, "Oh, yeah." Like, I would not invite anybody I knew.
no, it would be embarrassing. But then again, some people probably think it's cool and like, "Oh, we get to be on TV," so
Yeah.
who knows? But I kind of felt like they were gonna end the episode on a happy note, so when they got to Julie and Charles' wedding, I was like, I don't think they would end it on a no, unless,
I mean, I
they
think
just
everyone knew they were gonna say yes. I think they were our
mhm,
one couple. I think we said it earlier in our reviews that Julie and Charles
yeah,
were gonna be a for sure yes, and if there were a second, it would be Alex and Chloe, right? And we said
yeah.
maybe Yannik and Tatiana
Did we
until we
call
think
it?
yeah, until we started seeing things fall apart. I said if there had to be a number 2, I think it would be Alex and Chloe
Mhm. Yeah,
because
because
at
we
least they
thought
seem to like each other.
and we thought Julie and Charles might have, what was their name from the Sweden one? She wasn't attracted to him?
Jakob
Yeah.
and Carolina,
Yes, yes,
and they did.
Jakob and
Yeah, because she
yeah,
seems very attracted to him now.
yeah, it took a little time. Initially, she was like, "No," and then now she is, so that is cool to see happen because I feel like that is the whole experiment, right? She would have seen Charles at a bar or on the street and never given him a second chance probably, but
Yeah,
getting to know him in the pods then totally changes your perspective, so
yeah,
yeah, I mean, when her dad showed up as a surprise, I was like, I think it's a yes, but that would be
yeah,
hard if it
yeah.
wasn't. So that was nice to see.
Very sweet, very sweet.
Mhm.
They're so cute. I think they'll still be together by the reunion for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so we had 2 out of 4 said yes. 1 didn't go to the altar, so pretty good odds.
Mhm.
Who do you think still together then? All of them? Or
No,
I mean,
I'm
the
gonna
ones that
say
said yes.
Julie and Charles. I'm gonna say Alex and Chloe may surprise us. I think they might be that couple that got married and now they're divorced.
Mhm.
I think that Yannick and Tatiana. here's my prediction. I feel like Tatiana's gonna have a moment of like regret and try and circle back. We never got the ending to Jonathan and Cynthia.
Yeah, that
We
was
never
weird.
got to we ended off on them being at that mixer and kind of deciding if they were going to date or not. And we didn't get any answers there. So I guess we'll look forward to that at the reunion. I definitely think they're not together. I think Tatiana's going to try and spin the block and Yannick's going to say no. I think that
Did your birdie tell you that?
no.
Oh.
No. That's but I should ask.
That's just a
You know what
guess.
I mean? I should actually ask my birdie.
Mhm. Well, because we did hear, I don't know if we spilled this tea, but remember we heard on the UK one that when Katisha and Javan left, she did try to come back with him. I don't know if we told you guys that, but we heard
We
that
didn't,
tea.
but I did hear Anu say it on another podcast. She said it
Oh,
publicly.
okay.
She did say it publicly.
She
I
told
wasn't
us.
sure if it was our podcast. I was like, did she say that? When she talked to us, I know she said it to us, but I wasn't sure if we were recording. But
Uh-huh.
she did say it publicly that Katisha tried to rejoin the
Oh,
experiment.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we interview someone, after we get off the interview, we sit and talk to them for like another 45 minutes usually, and then we're like, why didn't we record that too? But they
Right. 'Cause
usually
they're sharing
we end
some,
up telling
you
you
know.
guys the tea other ways. We just say Birdie's told us. But if she said it publicly, then it's out there.
Yeah.
So, mhm.
Yeah, she did say it publicly. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know about like spinning the block in the experiment. My guess, but I am gonna ask my birdie if Tatiana tried to spin the block, but I would assume that
Mhm.
she did. I'm gonna say Charles and Julie are still together. Alex and Chloe are gonna be our surprise divorce. I'm almost certain Kim never spoke to Thomas again after the altar. Cynthia and Jonathan definitely are not together. And who am I missing?
I think they probably hooked up though. Do you think?
Probably, yeah, they probably hooked up that night. Oh, and Van Meet and Sabrina,
I don't think
I'm gonna say
so.
not together. No, I'm gonna say
No.
not together. I'm gonna say that she's gonna have some smoke for him at the reunion, and this is just my guess. She's gonna have some smoke for him at the reunion and be like, "Oh, everything was for show. Like all of that
Mhm.
wanting to date after was just for
Mhm.
show." And he, after the cameras went down, he never talked to me again.
I definitely think he's probably different in real life than he portrayed himself on camera, just based on, she said all of his exes, I was gonna say baddies, she called them whores, but like they were like, you know, he's got I think he has a spicier side to him, and I think he played very sweet and innocent, but I bet she has a lot to say. So, especially about that night out or maybe other things, but we'll
Mm,
see what happens.
okay.
I'm excited. So it's not, it originally said it was next Wednesday, but it doesn't air till next Sunday, which is kind of nice
Oh,
because
okay.
Love is Blind US starts on Wednesday, so that gives us some more time. But
Oh my God,
so yeah,
Wednesday's
it's
so
not for
soon.
a while.
Love it. This is so
W-
soon. That is
One
so
week,
soon. That love is
one week
what?
today, guys.
Oh my God. Okay, let me prepare. My sister had asked me to go to a doctor's appointment with her next Thursday, and I was like, no. I can't. Like, I can't. Once Love is Blind season is out, don't ask me for anything. Like, I just,
I mean, we could always do it on Friday. I sometimes,
well,
eh, well, the problem is they used to drop 4, right, which was doable. I think now they're dropping 6. So people need time. So maybe we could do like, well, let us know if you want us to do all 6 at once, or maybe we could do like 3 and 3 or
I
something.
think we
Because
should do
6 is a
3 and
lot.
I think we should do 3 and 3, but
I agree.
I do think we should do 3 and 3 because like you said, we always end up missing like you just end up missing some stuff that happens in the first 3 episodes
Hmm.
when you try and do them all. I think we should do
Well,
3 and 3. Yeah.
yeah, so we'll be back to do, well, we're still gonna do Love Island games now, but
Yeah.
just for our love, if you're only here for Love is Blind, we will have the reunion recap out next Sunday when it comes out, and obviously USA starts on a week today, so we'll be back for that. But if you're a Love Island games fan, stick around because we will get into episode 8 now. If I can find my notes. There they are. So we got a lot of note pages. I go through books like
Literally.
twice a month. So, the episode started with where we left off, Sydney showing up to surprise Isaiah. They had a cute little conversation, which was nice because obviously he cheated on her. That could have been drama. I would have liked to see it more messy, but nice
Okay.
for them. It was cute, which kind of felt like it left the door open though, right? Do you think
That's what I
there's
was gathering.
feelings, right?
Mhm,
They
mhm.
seem like they still love each other, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. To be fair, I was like,
There was quite
There's
yeah.
a chance there. Like,
There was long lingering eye looks and yeah, they were both mature about it, right? She said, he's still a good guy. He was young, I was young. So I'm excited to see what happens with them. But besides that, we didn't see much about her for the episode because
yeah.
then we had Andreina crying again. You still
She's crying a lot. Okay. I did
yeah.
write that in my notes. I said, okay, all right. I'm starting to see what Ashley's talking about. She's crying a lot. She is getting on my nerves. Like when not to jump ahead, but when she fell on the ground during
Oh
that
wait.
pool, I yeah,
I'm just
she lost.
wondering yeah, I'm wondering if this is genuine and she's always been this silly kind of person that they just didn't show for some reason, or she obviously was criticized a ton for being boring, and now she's just being ridiculous and over the top theatrical because she's told or thinks that's how people will think I'm not boring. Maybe she's not realizing how it's coming across. Like, she probably thinks if you act really crazy on there, it's just going to come across as normal because she's going really far. Like, she's really doing a lot. So,
The fall on the ground was a lot. It was a lot. I was like,
did you see
it's
Tyreek's face?
I didn't. I need to go back and watch, but the crying, I'm like, why is she crying so much? Like, you were crying over
Mhm.
Tyreek, now you're crying over Johnny. Like,
Mhm.
you should be crying over 250,000. Like,
Yeah.
um, but
Or
yeah.
just
Mhm.
it was so funny when she was crying and she's like, "I just can't catch a break in here." And Johnny's like, "Yeah, I was embarrassed too." And I'm like, "She didn't say she was embarrassed, but but he's embarrassed."
Well,
She was
because
like
I think that's the one challenge, right, that they should have won is because
mhm,
they're both sexy. Like, they look fucking good, right? Like, nobody's body is fucking with Andreina's. Nobody's body's fucking with Johnny. Like, that's the
mhm,
challenge that they should have won is the heart rate
mhm.
challenge. But I did notice that during the heart rate challenge, she's a little offbeat. Like, she doesn't really have any rhythm. Like, she was, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, when you said she's sexy, I'm like, "Is she though?" Like, she's obviously gorgeous, beautiful,
yeah.
but like, yeah, I don't know what it is. I still can't put my finger on it, but it just I don't know. Usually I find this silly, cute behavior fun to watch and entertaining. I don't know what it is,
It's
but
no, it is annoying. I will say this is the first episode that I saw it where I was like, "Oh, okay, that's kind of cringy." But
yeah,
I think I have a girl crush on her, so I do think she's beautiful, but sexy and beautiful are two different things, you know what I mean? But
yeah.
I do feel like I don't know, I don't know. They didn't get no heart rates up, so they lost, and
No.
Nicola and Isaiah won, which was surprising to me, and their reward was to go to the hideaway, which they're a friendship couple, so I'm like, "How is that a reward?"
That was very, very awkward, and they fought, obviously, over who to pick to go into the duel, so I feel bad for Nicola. She can't catch a break either, like, I think she's having a hard time, like she said, feeling included, and now you're put in this position to totally screw over some people, which is the whole point, though. That's what they're there for. Like, no one should be
Yeah.
mad at them, but
Nobody should be mad at them, and honestly, the decision that they made was a really good
yeah,
decision for the game, right? Nicola put the 2 strongest girls she knew that if she put Andreina in a duel, she was gonna
she'd
lose.
lose. Mhm,
Nicola's looking at it from a perspective of, "I can beat Andreina.
mhm,
I don't know if I can beat KK and Andrea, so I
mhm,
gotta get rid of one of them." Isaiah had the same exact mindset. I probably could beat Toby if I went up against him. I know I can't beat Chris or Johnny.
mhm.
Now's the perfect time to get rid of one of them. The part that I didn't understand is when Ariana asked them their decision, Nicola said, she didn't want to include Johnny in the duel. She was like, it was either going to be Toby versus Chris or Chris versus, she didn't want to include Johnny in the duel. But
No, I think what she said was, "I didn't want Johnny versus Chris," I think she said.
yeah, and she said it was either gonna be Toby versus Chris,
Mhm.
but but she didn't wanna include Johnny in the duel. So I'm like, I would think that it wouldn't be Chris that she didn't wanna
I
include in
thought what she
the
was trying
Johnny.
to say was Chris by the end of what she said. She just said it in, like, a backwards way.
Okay.
She was like but yeah, I was confused at first because 'cause I'm like, "It can't be not Johnny and Chris, then there's nobody left." So, I think she meant Chris. I think she just said it in a weird way.
Yeah, I think she said
Mhm,
in because when I read it, I was like, "Well, that doesn't make sense." Like, because
mhm.
she didn't say, "I wanted it to be Johnny versus Toby." You know what I mean? She
Yeah.
said, I didn't want to put Johnny in the duel." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Like,
I think what she was trying to say was, I didn't want it to be Johnny versus Chris. I wanted it to be Johnny versus Toby. I thought that's what she was trying to say,
okay,
but she
okay,
said it weird. Yeah.
okay,
I that's what I took from what she was saying. I didn't want it to be Johnny and Chris. I did want it to be Johnny and Toby. That's what I
okay.
thought she meant.
Yeah,
But I'll have to go back and watch because,
yeah.
yeah, when she said, "I didn't want it to be Johnny," immediately I was like, "What?" But then she said, "Versus Chris." Like, I think that's what she meant, but
Okay,
I'll
that
have to
makes sense.
go
'Cause I
rewatch
was
it.
like, that wouldn't make sense that she would want Chris in the duel because she did
Yeah,
have a connection
but
with him.
so crazy of Chris to think as a 6'8" athlete that he's not gonna be having people come for him. Like, how are you shocked? How are you upset? How are you surprised? Like, you should be fighting for your life the whole time in there. Like,
Right.
he's the only one really that they should want to get out. So
Nobody
I
yeah, like, nobody's gonna wanna go up against him one-on-one.
no.
You know what I mean? So, the I thought that Chris's reaction to being in the duel, how he Isaiah tried to talk to him and he's like, "No." And how I just thought how he came at Isaiah was completely, "Oh, he better hope I win. Oh, this is gonna change the game."
Yeah.
Like, but you were just put in the same position and you had
Mhm.
to make a decision, and the couple that you put in the bottom got sent home.
Yeah.
So, like, how are you even having any type of thought about it right now?
Well, it what we all did think it was a stupid decision to put Mert and Solen, and he did make that choice, I think, based off of his friends and not gameplay, which was silly because he said he was there for the money. So I think he was mad that they didn't do the same, that they didn't base off of friendship. But like you said, that's crazy to leave Chris in there knowing eventually you're gonna have to face him. Like, why would Isaiah do that to himself? It's crazy.
Or Johnny, right? Like, it was a
Mhm.
win-win for Isaiah. If
Yeah.
Johnny went home, oh my god, I got rid of a strong competitor. If Chris
Mhm.
went home, oh my god, I got rid of a strong competitor. Versus Toby going home, you
And
just got rid of Toby.
Toby was like, "Oh, my man, Isaiah, like, he got me. He saved me because like, he likes me." And it's like, it wasn't about that,
It
but
wasn't about
alright.
that. It's because I had to kick your ass in a duel.
Yeah. Like, he should have seen that as an insult, right? It's like, "You're the easiest one to beat, so that's why you're not going." And he was
Exactly,
more,
same
like,
with,
excited.
Andrina too, right? Like,
Yeah.
you're the easiest one to beat, but she didn't care, she's like, "Oh, I live to see another day," and that's the thing, is if people were smart, you will
Uh-huh.
keep people like Andrina and Toby in the game because you're just keeping them in. Now, the thing that sucks is you never know what the final challenge is gonna be, and you but again, from what I remember from games on season 1, like, the final challenge is very strenuous, it's very physical, it's very you
Uh-huh.
know what I mean? It ain't gonna be a puzzle, so it's like you keep your weaklings in the game for as long as you can because
Mhm.
you have a better chance at beating them. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, what did you think of KK not wanting to talk to that's been all the buzz on the internet lately is
Mhm.
KK kind of Nicola wanting to talk to KK and her kind of saying, "Hey, no thank you, like I don't want to
Yeah.
talk right now."
That part I didn't find too shocking. I'm like, obviously she's upset. She just found out, and I did think when Nicola originally like approached the group when KK was sitting there, she didn't immediately come over and be like, "I'm so sorry, like I had to pick someone," or explain at all. She just kind of sat down and started talking. So I was like, oh, she probably just should have gone right to KK. But then obviously we saw KK get up and walk away, and then Nicola tried to go talk to her and she
Mhm.
said she didn't want to talk. Like, I thought it was unnecessary and a little immature, but I'm also like, you just found out, you're processing your feelings. So I didn't think it was too bad at first, but then her little speech in front of everybody, like, "You're not the victim," and when Nicola was already crying and you could tell she looked very hurt and felt bad. So that
Yeah.
was just a little too much, I thought.
Yeah, same. I thought that the initial, like, "Hey," I thought she was very nice about it, right? Like, "No,
Uh-huh.
thank you. I don't wanna talk right now." Nicola kinda tried to sit down and talk to her anyway, and she was like, "I don't wanna talk right now." I get you processing your feeling. We've seen her, like, saying affirmations to herself and, like, take kind of trying to get her mind right. So, in that
Mhm.
moment, I thought it was fine. But then when Nicola was I guess Ariana
Yeah.
asked her decision, and she was like what did
She
what
said,
did
"You're
it?
not the victim. You're
Yeah,
not
like
the victim here."
it was a power move, so sorry, I don't feel sorry for you, is what she said. Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought that was
too
unnecessary.
much. Yeah, because
Yeah, I thought, and I think KK and Chris's attitude towards being in the duel is just kind of nasty, and that's probably
yeah.
why they both lost, is because even Ariana saying, "Oh, you're going up against your friends," she's like, "I don't have no friends right now." Like, I get it, like, you're in a zone, you're upset, but it's just kind of like,
It's embarrassing, right? It's you come on this show knowing you're gonna have to do duels, you're gonna lose probably, you will have to go home at some point. You have to be prepared for that, and for her to think that her and Chris wouldn't have been put in this duel is just silly. Like,
when they're
they
strong
are.
competitors.
Mhm. And a couple, like a strong couple, like, you should expect to have people coming for you the whole time. So their reaction was sort of like a temper tantrum, and yeah, I think it reflected in how they behave, because Andrea was very mature about it, and just it is what it is, and
Very, like, she went up to Nicola, right, and said,
yeah,
"You had to pick somebody. I know it's nothing personal. You had to do what you had to do." That honestly should be the attitude around it, not like,
yeah,
Don't touch
mm,
me, Isaiah." You know what I mean? Like, it's just I
yeah,
am glad that KK pulled Nicola after the fact, but it's
mm,
like, yeah, like, you could see that Nicola was really torn up. Like, she was like, "I wish it was me. Like, I wish I could
mhm,
go in there instead." Like, and
mhm.
again, you have to do what you have to do, and it was a smart choice on
Yeah, like,
Nic
imagine she picked Andrina. Like, that's just silly. You're just making someone leave that was gonna leave eventually anyways, and it just felt entitled from
Honestly. Yeah,
KK and Chris. Like,
yeah.
we
Somebody's gonna leave,
deserve to
not
win.
gonna win. Like, Andrea's not gonna win. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and then the finger of it all.
okay. Do you think that Chris broke his finger?
Not even the slightest. I have only had one broken bone in my life. I broke my toe last summer. When I broke it, we have like a wooden bed frame that was like solid, right? And I hit my second from right toe on it, and
Mhm.
the crack was horrendous, and the pain was like not anything I've ever felt. But I went to the doctor, and they're like, "You can't do anything really for a broken toe. Like, you can't put a cast on it or anything. You just deal with it." And it was like, when I saw the X-ray, it was like this tiny little like hairline of a break, right? Like, so he bent it, yes. Maybe he pulled it, like
Sprained
dislocated
it.
it, but
Yeah.
yeah, there was nothing there to break it. Like, you need force to break it, right? Like, the bone needs to like hit something hard.
Well,
So
I would imagine that maybe force from the tugging. I wouldn't have been surprised if he broke it. I don't think he broke it. I think he sprained
he's,
it and
uh
he hurt it. But I also think that Chris, first of all, Johnny is very, very, I was surprised. He's strong. Like, he
yeah,
was, for Chris to be, it should be against the rules that you can, like, kinda put your legs around it and kinda hold
mhm,
on to it like that, but the fact that Chris was doing that and Johnny was still dragging his ass across that ring, like, we
mhm,
literally seen Chris getting, like, pulled with the thing, and
mhm,
again, it was a very close competition, like,
yeah.
Chris would roll over and it'd be yellow, and then Johnny would pull it and it would be blue. Johnny won that first round, and I don't think that Chris could take being embarrassed and
No,
losing that second round. So he
I
said
agree.
he couldn't go on because there was a chance that Johnny was gonna win again. So,
I totally agree. And yeah, I mean, people I've seen in the comments be like, it's 250K. Like, I wouldn't have said a word about my finger. At least try, right? Like, you don't know. Maybe Johnny just used all his energy he has on that round, and he's barely going to be able to do anything. You don't, at least try, right? Like,
right.
keep your one finger out, use one arm, like, do what you got to do. At
Let's
least give it
try.
a
Yeah.
shot. Yeah.
But Johnny's strong as fuck, and if he would have used one hand, he would have lost. You
Hmm.
lost using 2 hands and your legs. You were wrapped
Hmm.
around that bitch, holding onto it like a fucking baby, and you still lost. Like, and that
One,
surprised me because when I found out it was a tug of war, I was like, "Johnny's cooked." Like,
yeah.
6'8", like, he's got some strength, but Johnny clearly works out. Like, he's
Well, I
I
was
like
gonna
a
say,
lot more after this episode. Like, John,
yeah, and I mean, if Johnny, I don't know what kind of workouts he does, but if he's lifting weights, like I don't know what Chris does, but he plays basketball, right? That might not be just because you're bigger or you weigh more, like we saw with Andreina and Lucinda, right? It apparently doesn't weight doesn't help you in this. You need to actually have like the muscle strength and the arm
yeah.
strength. So
Well, we know he can't lose a finger because he's got to go overseas and play ball. So
I feel like he's gonna post like an X-ray now and prove to us all that it's broken. And maybe it is, but like I said, we most people would just at least try, right? Like people get medically removed in Survivor and they like cry their eyes out. It's like the most devastating thing to get this chance to be on the show and win this money and have to go home for a medical reason. And he was kind of like not sad at all. Like he was just like, "All right, I can't play, no big deal. See you later." So he
the
was.
thing is, had Chris won the first round and
Mhm,
then said, "My finger's broken, I can't continue," I would have been more like, "Okay." And he won. Like, obviously,
mhm,
he's the better competitor because he won.
mhm.
Um, and which is not fair, right? Because how do
Yeah,
you, if Chris had won that round and he couldn't compete anymore, and they said, "Well, we have to go based on the rounds that you completed," then Chris would have been the winner, which would not have been fair to Johnny.
no.
So I don't think that they would have done it that way if that were
They
the case,
need
right?
They should have come up with some better way if that happens. Like, if you hurt your finger, then you do a puzzle or something, you know what I mean?
Or
Like, they can't just
maybe,
have
like,
it.
you pick another guy to compete for you. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? But then why would they wanna hurt themselves,
Yeah.
put their neck on
Yeah,
the line?
they need to come up with something. Because what if that happens now? Next time the person's like, "Oh, I broke my finger," after they win 1 round, and then what? So they
Yeah,
win?
I
Like,
don't think that would be fair to Johnny because
no.
Johnny's like, "Okay, well, I can still compete, so
Mhm.
what's up?" But if Chris would have won that first round, I would have been like, "Okay, I believe him that his finger's hurt and he can't compete anymore."
Yeah.
His ego was hurt because he thought, "I'm bigger than Johnny." We already heard how he was talking to KK. "You don't have to worry about me. Imma handle mine."
Mhm.
Johnny mopped the floor with you. I've seen some comments like, "Oh, Chris, Johnny got lucky." Chris is like, he's a fierce competitor. And I'm like, "What did y'all
Mhm.
watch?" Because I watched Johnny dragging his big ass across that ring.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think just because 'cause you're bigger doesn't mean anything. We've learned that now twice with challenges, so. Oh, we did get a little tea this episode about Toby and Sydney kissed at a party at the Love Island Games premiere. So I
Oh,
didn't that's
yeah.
interesting. They got a little history going on there.
They got a little history. Maybe that's a little connection there.
I like we said, I like the exes, but I don't think it didn't bring any drama with Sydney and Isaiah. So
And I guess
if
we're
they could
not
bring
getting
on
Keenan now. Now
imagine
the KK.
imagine he's there in Fiji sitting in a hotel room and he's like, damn
I
it.
actually like as much as like I am sad that KK and Chris went home because of the storyline, right? Like Chris had connections with Nicola and Justine and KK. KK kind of had something going on with Tyreek, and
Mhm.
seemingly Marvin. So I am upset that, Chris was so cringy. I wanted to see him continue to be cringy and make fun of him. Like, but I also think I would have felt the same way if Johnny left. Like Johnny's a
Yeah.
messy, like he hasn't even gotten started yet. And then Andrea, like she's honestly really surprising me. Like, I find her very likable. Like, she
Mhm.
has a really good attitude towards everything. She's a really good competitor. She's very
Mhm.
sweet. Like, I like her, but I am sad that KK and Chris left because I think storyline
Yeah.
wise, like they were giving.
Yeah, they're definitely more known compared to, like, some of the people in there, like Nicola and Garby, and so I think they gotta bring in some big people now because
Yeah.
that we kinda lost 2 of the main people, but I'm glad I don't have to hear 250 thou wow anymore because it was
Mm,
getting to be a lot, so I
yeah.
think she said it like 50
Yeah.
times,
I
so.
think people are trying to, I don't know if you've seen it, but people are trying to say that KK was being a mean girl, which I don't agree with. I think she was having an emotional moment, and I will say that KK did portray herself a lot better
Mhm,
on games than she did on her season. Because on her season, she was very liked and lovable, but everybody just wanted her to just like get out of Keenan's ass and like focus on more than one
mhm.
partner. So she did that on games. So she redeemed herself in that way. I don't think she's a mean girl. Do I think she could have handled herself better? Absolutely. Do I think that Nicola
Yeah.
deserved the way KK talked to her? Absolutely not.
No.
But also don't blame KK for not wanting to have that initial conversation with her. But am glad that she did talk to her in the end and said, I'm not mad at you, you know?
Yeah. I think she was doing a little damage controller because she kind of knew she had acted a little crazy, and that was her last moment to just sort of like smooth it over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't like mean girl, but definitely didn't look good either.
Yeah, not nice. Yeah.
Yeah, because Nicola, especially because it was Nicola. You know what I mean? Maybe if it was
Yeah.
someone who could hold their own a little more and who was a little more confident in that villa, you could kind of go at them a bit. But she kind of knows, like, literally none of the men are looking at her. She's feeling really unconfident and really bad about herself. And now you're attacking her for a stupid game decision. So if
Yeah.
it was someone else, maybe it would have been like, oh, it was a nice
Right.
deal.
It's like yelling at Elmo. Like Nicola's
Yeah.
so sweet.
Yeah.
And you could tell she felt bad. She had tears in her freaking
Hmm.
eyes. Like, poor girl.
Yeah, I get it though. Sometimes when you're like, KK wanted to be mad about being picked, and it was hard because she's crying, and like Huda used to do that on Love Island. She starts crying when you're the one that's mad. So then you're like, no, like you're crying, but I'm mad now. I can't be mad because you're crying, and you're really not letting me feel what I want to feel. So I think she was just frustrated with her because
Yeah.
you
And
have
again,
to,
no reason to be frustrated. It's the name of the game.
yeah,
And what Nicola did was very smart. And anybody that says anything different,
yeah. KK and Chris should have just taken it as a compliment. Said, obviously, we're gonna get picked. We're strongest here, so.
yeah.
And then won. That would have been a better ending to it, but they didn't. So,
Yeah. But I am glad that Andre didn't leave. And I'm glad Johnny didn't leave. Because Johnny,
yeah,
say what you want. He's cringy, but he is fine. He is
yeah,
fine. He's a good looking kid, you know?
and he's putting up with Andreina better than Tyreek did, so he's making it work. So we'll
I
see what
think
happens with them.
he's out of here very
Yeah,
soon. Next watch.
maybe he'll go for Sydney.
Probably not. He seemed to know her, so I don't think,
Yeah, yeah, that's the hard thing too, right? They all know each other from the previous seasons, and obviously have kissed and done things together. So I like the history though; it adds
Yeah.
some messiness. So
Yeah.
10 episodes left only, apparently. So
Okay. Well,
yeah.
all right.
It's
That went
going
fast.
fast. Yeah. A lot faster than the other Love is Blind season. I mean, damn it. I'm always going to do that. Love Island. Love Island. This one's
Yeah.
a nice little mini one. But yeah, I'm excited to see how the rest goes. And we'll be back with Love Island USA. No, damn it. I did it again. You guys, I'm not gonna be able to get through the next couple of weeks with both these shows on. I'm not. I'm just not gonna be able to. Can we come up with like a nickname for it or something? Because my brain is gonna short circuit. So
You could do LIB.
LIB.
Yeah, LIB.
Love is Blind USA on Wednesday. We'll be back with that and more Love Island games. I did it. And Bravo and all that other good stuff. So
Yeah.
thanks for listening. We love you guys and we'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.